When I was in high school, I loved to sew, but I never really considered a career in fashion. I was naive and I thought that the only career worth having in the industry was to be a top fashion designer. I felt that I didn't have the creativity, the personality, or thick enough skin to make it in that really intense, competitive market of fashion designers. My goal for this unit is for you to learn about the textiles and apparel industry so that you can have a basic understanding of all of the different segments and the potential careers that might interest you in the fashion industry.
The textile and apparel industry consists of 3 segments. These segments include textile production. The first segment of this industry focuses on production of fabrics for apparel and other uses. It deals with fibers, yarns, dyes, finishes, and methods of fabric production. Apparel production. The second segment includes all the steps in turning fabrics into apparel, including the design process and garment manufacturing. The retail segment. The third segment includes all the business activity involved in the retail, the process of selling items to customers. A consumer is a person who uses goods and services. A good is a physical item, and a service refers to work performed. This ranges from showing customers what is new in designs, colors, and fabrics, to encouraging them to buy new fashions. Each of these segments is a separate field, but all relate to textiles and clothing. If you choose a career in textiles and clothing, it could be in one of these 3 areas. The long road from fibers to fabrics requires many processes and thousands of workers. 4 stages of production make up the basic structure of the textile industry. Stage 1. Fiber production. The first stage in producing textiles is fiber production. The natural fibers of cotton and linen come from cotton and flax plants. Texas grows the most cotton in the U.S., followed by Georgia and Arkansas. Wool comes from the fleece of sheep, and silk comes from the cocoons spun by silkworms. Various chemical companies produce manufactured fibers. Stage 2. Yarn production. The spinning of fibers into yarn takes place in the second stage of textile production. Most of the fiber mills remain in the U.S. or in the Northeast. Stage 3. Fabric production. Textile mills weave or knit yarn into fabrics during the fabric production stage. Looms and knitting machines produced unfinished cloth. Stage 4. Fabric finishing. During the final stage, fabric finishing occurs. Dyeing, printing, and other special treatments give fabrics the desired performance characteristics. Fabrics may be water repellent, fire repellent, or anti-wrinkle. Some companies specialize in only this stage of production.
After the 4th stage, fabrics are ready to be used by apparel manufacturers and companies that require fabrics for their products. Some fabrics go directly to the home sewing market. Some examples of uses for textiles are in home furnishings, sheets, pillowcases, towels, rugs, even lampshades and drapes. Medical uses, bandages, antibacterial wound dressing, surgical gowns and masks, artificial hearts and arteries. In industry, conveyor belts, filters, protective garments for firefighters, police, and military, and building insulation. In the transportation industry, tire cords, seat belts, seat covers, airbags, brake linings, and even boat sails. What is the difference between a textile designer and a fashion designer? You've heard of fashion designers before: Coco Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Prada. Fashion designers design the final products that are sold to the consumers. Textile designers, however, develop designs for fabric, color combinations, patterns, prints, and weaves.
Textile designers design and produce fabric designs. Fashion designers design and produce finished products. They design garments and accessories. Textile designers must have a technical background as well as creative skills. They need to understand what machines can and cannot do in the production of fabric. They must also be familiar with the latest changes in finishes, dyes, and equipment. They need to understand production costs. In this way, they can be creative and still meet the needs of the company.
There are many different aspects of the textile design process. We'll be discussing textile converting, manufacturing, research and development, and marketing. Let's begin with textile converting.
Many decisions about the production of fibers, yarns, and fabric are the responsibility of textile converters. Textile converters decide what fibers to use, what widths and heights of fabric to weave or knit, and how many yards to produce. They select dye colors and choose finishes that will help the fabrics perform as expected. Some companies specialize only in this stage of fabric production. Setting prices or costing the fabric is another task of textile converters. Textile converters compute all the costs involved in producing the fabric. They then add a margin of profit to the production cost to determine the fabric's selling price. Textile plant operations include many processes such as spinning, dyeing, weaving, knitting, and finishing. Each of these steps require special machinery. The nature of each job varies with the kind of machine the job requires. Most machines operate by electronic or computerized controls. Some employees who use machines in their work are spinners, colorists, loom operators, and machine operators. A high school diploma is often adequate background for some entry-level machine operators. These operators usually receive an hourly wage. Manufacturing also includes the work of textile engineers and laboratory technicians. Textile engineers play an important part in textile manufacturing. Textile engineers may have a college degree in chemical, computer, electrical, industrial, or mechanical engineering. A chemical engineer might work in a department where fabric dyeing or printing occurs. A computer engineer often ensures correct programming for machines to properly make the fabrics. Industrial engineers oversee the performance of all production operations. They look for better or less costly ways of handling production without reducing quality. Plant engineers make sure that all the systems operate properly. These include machinery operation, heating, air conditioning, electrical, material handling, and environmental controls. They are expert problem solvers in all areas of production. Laboratory technicians perform tests on fibers, yarns, and fabrics in a laboratory. They make sure products meet certain standards of quality. Machines test how well and how long a fabric will wear under certain conditions. Laboratory technicians may perform various tests during many steps of production. This assures quality control throughout the process, resulting in a superior finished product. Laboratory technicians learn about textile technology in colleges or technical schools. They organize their own work and follow precise instructions. Laboratory technicians do detailed work and write accurate, thorough reports of test results. Research and development creates new products to meet consumer demand, and finding ways to produce these products are an important part of the textile, apparel, and fashion industry. For example, fabrics used to protect firefighters from heat and flames, or an eco-friendly fabric choice. Research is working to find new products such as fibers, weaves, dyes, and finishing techniques. Learning more about consumer wants and needs, developing products based on those needs and wants. Development is finding practical ways to use the products the researchers create. Marketing includes all the activities involved in creating and selling profitable products. Before the selling occurs, other processes take place. The right raw materials, such as fibers and yarns, need to be purchased. Manufacturers must decide what raw material to buy and what fabrics to manufacture. They base their decisions on careful studies of what their customers want. Market analysts are the people who study fashion changes in consumer demands. Market analysts develop market research Market analysts are the people who study fashion changes in consumer demands. Market analysts develop market research strategies that allow them to study consumers. This is how they learn more about their consumers' demographics and buying behaviors. Demographics include basic information about the consumer, such as their age, sex, education level, and income level. Market analysts use demographic information to find out more about their customers' behaviors through focus groups, surveys, data mining, interviewing, and shopping observations. Analysts use this information to find patterns or shared traits and put prospective customers or buyers into groups with common needs. This is called market segmentation. The analysis of information helps stores with inventory management and allows marketers and buyers to forecast customers' needs and wants. Forecasting is projecting future market trends for the coming months and years. Fashion trends are forecasted in much the same way that the weather is. Selling is the last step in the marketing process. Products can be sold in many ways or through many channels. Today's consumer can purchase in a store, through a catalog, shopping online on a store website, or using various social media platforms. Multi-channel retailing or multi-channel marketing are common phrases used by research professionals. This simply means that marketers are using many channels to communicate and sell goods and services to their customers. Textile sales associates are an important part of the marketing division. Today's sales associate works in a variety of settings, whether it be the traditional sales associate in a brick-and-mortar store or a social influencer for production on Instagram or for a product on Instagram. The individual is influencing customers' opinions about the product and the brand and guiding consumer buying choices.